Oh boy, today I'm having so much fun. I am. Look, there's Taylor Swift right there. You know what? Blank space. I bet I could leave a blank space on this guy's face. I bet you that guy, goddamn, will sit there like he has a piece of cat shit in his mouth, because that's exactly what these bitches have been telling me. And that's exactly the face I see on a lot of people. They look like they got a piece of cat crap in their mouth. Literally. When they look at you, and I mentioned this here to my nephew. I said, you know, just suck on a piece of cat shit. I seen his eyes flash. Oh boy. I said, oh, somebody's told you that, huh? You see, that's what my family was saying. You know, like Jerry Wright. You know, he could wiggle his ears, by the way. He thinks he's so goddamn gifted. Jerry Wright can wiggle his ears. And you know what? I seen a picture of him sitting on his couch just goddamn laughing like a goofy little bastard with a pair of Mickey Mouse ears with it, with little hearts on it. You know, that goddamn guy's done fucking something he should be goddamn court-martialed for. Something. Yeah, Bruce Kimsey, court-martialed. You know what I mean? A military fucking goddamn fucking... We shot you fucking dead. We fucking buried you in the sea, and look, goddamn, the rest of the world what you fucking did. This man here's an innocent man. My son here's been ripped off from me and ripped off from his mother in Lewis County, Washington, because the goddamn cops will fucking do it. And by the way, Bruce Kimsey said that goddamn very thing in that A&E. Oh, how they pose like they're the bad guys, and says all this goddamn bullshit. You know, like I told that sheriff here yesterday, and believe me when I say I told that sheriff yesterday. I told that sheriff. I never asked him nothing. He asked me something. Where's Kevin Baker? Well, I said he's right over there. And he's a nice guy. You know, I changed from addressing one item to this one. Why? Kevin's had his children removed from the property here. They brought a black man here. It's a racial thing. And another thing, you know what I wanted to say was on that bridge down there that just got collapsed, every person that was on that bridge working was from outside of this country, migrated in or something. Geez, I said, you know, I think that's a goddamn setup from the word goddamn go. I mean, there's no mixing words about it. When I say, Jesus Christ, it never happened before. Why has it happened right then? And Donald Trump's doing his shit. Lock that turkey up. Oh, and by the way, the point of this whole thing was, I wonder how many sheriffs gets text messages right here in Thurston County, Lewis County, from Donald Trump. I would like them to fork over all their goddamn cell phones. I would like for them to go through and have been fucking checked out. I want to know, or I think America should know, whether these cops, these law enforcement officers that's on duty, like that guy said, oh no, I got to do that political off duty. Oh, I wonder if he has his cell phone with him. I wonder if he gets text messages from Donald Trump or from the Trump organization. You know, that's a very fucking serious goddamn thing. And if I tell you, if any of those guys are getting text messages from them, if they're Republicans, and they're in that, well, I pretty much think that that disqualifies them from being a law officer. That's a goddamn conflict of interest. That's a goddamn conflict of interest. I'm just telling you how it is. And what? They'll minimize it? How do you minimize giving toy guns to children? Is that the same way we'll minimize them getting text messages from Donald Trump and people being angry for what, how many years has this goddamn coup been going on and orchestrated? I know since D.B. Cooper. Oh, by the way, John F. Kennedy. This has always been leading up to a coup. And by the way, it was one party or the other, and it was the Republican Party. And it was, well, the firemen or cops. Firemen or cops. Now, if those firemen are getting text messages from that ex-president that is so in trouble, I'll tell you something. See, I'll tell you something real cute. Donald Trump's already been defeated. And I fucking just love telling you. Why? Well, I got a feeling from the Holy Father in heaven. You could just stick a fork in him. He is done. You know, that's how confident I am about Donald Trump and the feelings that I get. And by the way, if somebody wanted, my ex-wife ended up marrying a preacher. Why? Well, maybe she felt God Almighty over me and with me and stuff like that. She thought, well, I was supposed to be the guy. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not a goddamn panhandler. And I'm not a con man either. And I've seen too many preachers do that same thing. And by the way, even Keith Springer, you know, it's so sad because that guy seemed like it'd be a really nice guy, and I spent a lot of time with him too. And all of a sudden, my wife and Bill Wiedegard, she'll weed him out, Wiedegard, they abducted my son, Matthew. Oh yeah, I went looking for my son on my own. I don't need some goddamn cop that won't get it. That won't do the job. So what I do, I went to Wiedegard's place, man. I looked right through the goddamn bitch's window. I went through right through their goddamn back yard and looked right through their fucking window for my son because I goddamn knew that little Wiedegard was hiding my son, just fucking goddamn kidnapping him. For what reason? None. Oh, and by the way, I ended up in custody with this child, whether he was mine or not. Just telling you. Now, I found her out there at Winlock, at her girlfriend's house. Well, I went to the door. You know what my son said? He was being held in the bathroom with a hand over his mouth so he couldn't scream. And he had marks on his shoulder where somebody went like this. I don't know which person. He never said which one. Maybe he would have been scared. You know how children get scared of people? I'm using this for a prime example because why? It needs to be goddamn addressed. You know, women should have rights to go down and get an abortion. Matter of fact, men, shh, you want them able to because you might have a bad date that got knocked up, and Jesus Christ, do you want to get an abortion? And she's not very, well, maybe that's a good deal. Maybe it's a good deal. Well, I guess you don't know who your next person is that might be somebody that's nice like me, that was held in a rabbit cage against my will. Is it my fault? Is it my fault? I goddamn want to tell you, it's not my goddamn fault, but I know some son of a bitch it is. And he's hiding behind barbed wire, and I explained that to that sheriff that was here yesterday, and I told him, go do your goddamn job. He tasked me for one reason, I told him one reason. There's nothing more than I'd like to do to have freedom to go to and fro where the fuck I want. Because I've been on lockdown, and the first time that I seen a sheriff, you ask that sheriff, go call up Thurston County and find out which sheriff came out here, because he got a goddamn earful for me. And I just don't mind telling him. And if you don't believe me, look back at my videos. I just don't mind telling people the truth. Am I doing something wrong? Absolutely not. Am I violating anybody's rights? I am goddamn not. Am I telling you the truth whether you like it or not? Yeah. And why? And by the way, if your neighbor bothers you, why should you goddamn fucking close your goddamn curtain to the bitch? Or bastard, or whomever? Well, you go out there and clean up your yard and rake it up and turn on your music lightly so they can't bitch or complain. And maybe you go out there and maybe sing. Maybe it'll drive them crazy. Why? Because you're so happy and they're so, what is he doing over there? And that's exactly what people do from fucking place to place because of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's really, you know, like Sherlock Holmes would say in Watson, it's elementary, Watson. It's really elementary, Watson. It is simple as you can get up and decide to change your mind. You know, like Donald Trump, he can change his mind at any given time. What he'd like to do, I'm looking to see what time it is over here. We're about 10 minutes into it. Donald Trump can change his tune at any goddamn time. And you know what I would encourage is any of these J6 hostages that realize now they've been sold out with the rest of the Banana Republic, as Mr. Trump likes to say, Banana Republic. He wants to turn your country into a third world banana republic. Okay? America is the light of the world. It's not the dim of the world. Russia is not the light of the world. France is not the light of the world. Matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, that worthless goddamn statue in the harbor out there is no more than a Trojan horse. If we want to put a nice new statue out there, I say it's going to be about 210 feet tall. You know, and it's going to look goddamn gorgeous too. And I know a couple women that it'd be really nice made after too, by the way. We had a lot of fun with them, and we've turned a lot of heads in the United States of America and the whole world. And the woman, you know, even though, you know what happened was she got so popular, she got 20,000, 21,000. And all these people that's in her room that's running it, like they're her little handlers and stuff, they start choking off everyone, and they ruined her. Matter of fact, when I spun that wheel that I talked about, the Taylor wheel, when I spun it, goddamn, that was good. Things like that just happen. It's the magic. Okay, so that's what my dad would call it, the magic. He had faith. I mean, it wasn't like he never. So anyway, it's the magic. So anyway, you know, sometimes I'm just overcame by things. But anyway, I've told the truth. And it's like Nineveh. You gotta come forward. You know why? What you gonna do when the Holy Father says, no, no, no? It's not gonna work that way, Johnny. You gotta do it. You're gonna have to walk that goddamn mile in those shoes that I'm gonna force you to wear. You know, I could tell you about watching the 10 Commandments when I was a child. Right there, when my dad was in that bowling alley. In the 4-lane bowling alley when we were forced to be there. Bowling alley's just right there, 3 doors down. 3 doors down the theater. And also the Masonic Center. You know, the triangle one. The Masonic Center's right there for the I want to say they're George Washington's group, the ones that was in the whatever it is. You guys all goddamn know what it is. I'm trying to think of. They're in a organization that set up the whole world. It's what I understand, and that's right there next to that theater. And there's probably a bomb shelter underneath of it too, by the way. By the way that it looks, and it's all set up in Morton, Washington. But I sat there in that room, in that theater, and I watched the 10 Commandments with my friend Terry Shortridge. I think we both watched Brian's story too. NFL players, and one of them got sick and died. Terry Shortridge had leukemia. You know, I've seen lots of things, lots of feelings. You know, when you're in there and you're a little kid and you've gone through so much in a rabbit's cage and everything, been forced into a basement like your dad and stuff, a movie like the 10 Commandments can have a very lasting image on you, especially when you're little, and you see that little red thing just go like this and pow you over and over like it does, the subliminal effects that's in that movie. You know, I just want to say maybe that movie was at the right time at the right place for this here to happen. You know, the Holy Father works in many, many mysterious ways. And I too tell you the truth. Why? Well, for number one, I don't have nothing to lose. Do I think I might be the President of the United States someday? Well, I don't know. I really goddamn don't know. But I'll tell you what, nobody that speaks the ill of the dead, for one. I don't like speaking the ill of the dead. But if I'm forced to goddamn tell the truth, I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I was forced to place my hand upon a Bible in a courtroom. They don't even put Bibles in the courtroom no more. I think it's unfair because you should have to live with the same goddamn grief that I did. Because look, That's not exactly a picture of my dad, but that sure does look like my grandfather. You know, generations. My mom and dad had my dad, my mom didn't have it. It came from my dad's family, and I believe his mother made it. It was their family blanket that had all of their family's names on it. And you know, at the end, and that blanket ended up being with my dad and the Wrights family Bible that was white. I don't know what happened to the Bible. I remember it was there at the trailer. The last time I seen it probably was prior to my mom moving out, and my dad sitting in that house where I seen him with that green bag right there at his feet that had his legal papers in it, and I caught him wearing sunglasses, or caught him wearing glasses, and I asked him, so how long has this been going on, you know, wearing glasses? You know, and I said, you know, and I was smiling to him because what's going on here? You know, his house is just bare. Marietta and everybody, they've raped his house. I mean, there's nothing there. He's empty. They took everything. You know, just like Marietta would. She'd take everything from somebody. Shit, they took all my stuff, and then they placed it outside for I don't know how long. We didn't even get all of our stuff. We just was fucking satisfied to get what we got when it was over. Cut our ties, whatever. You know, have the cops come in and rape your fucking house over what? I got a diary. Oh, and by the way, the tube sock killers at Mineral, Washington, right there. I'll try to put it in the notes and stuff, put it up there, the email address and everything to it, so you can just click on it, pop it over there. Right there's my notes on all this, and I've been doing it for a few years before all this happened. And as I'm learning all of it, I'm just writing it down. I don't know where this is going. All that I know is all these things that's happened to me. And I'm going, what are they doing? You know? And I investigate. My grandma told me things. My dad told me things. My dad wanted this to come to an end. My grandmother wanted it to come to an end. She told me on her deathbed, there's a man with a story, and you're the man, and the story is about you, John. You know, what's the story? And then she goes off and says, your dad's clothes was at the top of the stairway. I had to tell him to get it out of there. You know, when my dad came down there, I was with my dad. Me and my dad drove down there, and I believe we went down there to pick up the money. And my dad drove that blue Polara that got cut in half. We drove that Polara, and somebody drove out and they hit the back rear quarter panel on the passenger side. That car was cut in half, and it was thrown in the dump. And if that car's down over that hill, it's a blue Dodge Polara that has a piece of right there around the taillight lens right there removed, gone. It got ripped off, I think. But there's a dent right there at the very side of it, right there where the car backed out of a driveway and clipped us. And there was a ranchero right there that said, he's seen the whole thing. These people here doesn't have the right to roll out into the road. That my dad was in the right, the guy said. And these guys, first they were going, you hit our car, like that. And, you know, I was in the car. I witnessed it. I'm sure I would have said something to my dad. At least I would have been brave enough to say something for my dad, because me and my dad was close. You know, I mean, I took care of him at the end. You know, I used to adjust his back. I used to adjust his neck and stuff. Maybe he did get hurt when he came out of that airplane. You know, he named the bowling alley after a bowl of ice cream. I screamed, oh, I'm in the bowling alley. He comes in and I'm watching Johnny Carson. He screams, Johnny Carson. He's been drinking out at the Roadhouse. You know, he just locks me in the bowling alley at night, and I'm locked in the bowling alley. That's my protection. I'm in there, and there's a .22 pistol that has Super X bullets, you know, like the Zodiac, yeah. And the first time I seen that gun was over there in Mossy Rock when he pulled it out, and it was going bam, bam, bam out the window of the car at a bear. And by the way, when my brother shot that 30-06 in the bowling alley, there's probably a hole in the back of that bowling alley about 30 feet over from the wall right there, 25 feet right there, about where lane 3 was. It would have been lane 3, by the way. He blew out the head pin, probably put a hole right in the back of the wall with a 30-06, you know, and the stories in the videos and stuff. And let's see what else. Oh boy. Well, the guy next door, his place arsoned, and the bowling alley's lawnmower, brand new lawnmower, Boland's tractor's lawnmower, the engine was put over there. When I found out that the engine was over there, well, the boys found out probably through me, that fucking place burnt. That guy, when I went over there checking on our motor, he goes, "Get the fuck out of here." I mean, Jesus Christ. He knew that these guys over there at that bowling alley burnt down his goddamn fucking thing. I didn't know it. These boys are doing arsons and stuff and rolling around doing it. So, anyway, it is what it is. And, you know, do you think Walmart should really have these? Do we need these in America? You know, if you send a firm message about these, they'll send firm message about other things. And by the way, when I was saying earlier about things happening in the United States, I thought there was going to be like a wrestling venue, something bad going on like we seen in Russia recently. Well, then we got the ship over here, so instead of over there than here, now where's the next one that's going to happen real soon if they're doing this? It happens in threes. Because I had all these people around me saying it happens in threes, and one person died, the other person would die, then another person died, and they'd be like, it happens in threes. Marietta, she told me a phrase that goes something like this. I may have not said it the correct last time, is after they're all gone, there's only us. Really goddamn creepy. And I told her, I said, well, we're all in this together. You know, in the blue car, we were heading from Mossy Rock towards Morton, and my dad was in the passenger seat. I was in the back seat. I think Patty, Debbie, I'm sure, was there. My mother was there, driving, and he starts screaming, "Jesus Christ, just let me out of this goddamn car," fucking freaking out and stuff. And he says, "She's trying to kill me." Like that, and he looks back at me, and I mean, me and him's just goddamn seriously looking. I know I've been in the rabbit cage. And also, my dad broke my hand with a broom over there in Mossy Rock. Fucking freaked out. God damn, you fucking slammed me in the hand with a broom. Broke my hand in front of the two boys because the boys wouldn't quit screwing around and get busy cleaning up the Glenn's house when they moved out. Those Glenns were forced out of that house. They were so goddamn rudely moved out of that house in Mossy Rock. You can ask David Glenn how he felt when his dad's car came back all stripped to fuck because of what those boys did to it, his old Studebaker. I bet the Glenns are pissed off. And I bet that's why he got a broken nose, too. And thank you for your time, and you have a great day. All my stories can be backed up, by the way. If you fucking cross me, you're gonna get conked. If that's the way it goddamn works. And Jerry, right? You fucking crossed me, it's your turn to be conked. I'd love to crown him, America. I'd do it for you. I would do it for you.